So here we go, we're back at Creve Airport. This time we're flying the, you can hardly see it. This time we're flying the Colimata F-16, I'm sorry, Colimata F-18. It's one of my favorite planes, although it has really weird stall characteristics. I don't know if anyone's who's flown them, I mean if you guys have flown them, I don't know, you might attest the same thing. So what we did was I fueled it up, but not a lot, so we don't have a lot of extra weight in the plane. I'm not really going to use much of this. We're just going to kind of fly by guess right now. We're going to again do some pattern work. You won't be able to see much of Creveport. I forgot how long the runway is, but it's probably between 3,000 and 4,000 feet. So not a lot of room to play around with. We're not on VATSIM right now, so we don't have the speed restrictions that VATSIM has.
Pull up. Pull up.
This gets really dangerous because you have to turn this off while you're flying, and it's dangerous to do this at night. Would not recommend it. Alright, so I believe our gear is up. Yeah, we've got our gear up. We're at 1,200 feet above sea level. I think 1,200 feet above sea level. We're going to take a nice slow left-hand turn. We're going to take it around at a full turn to heading 160. Now it does make it a little bit more difficult. We're flying a very fast jet, plus we're flying a very fast jet at night, so we kind of have to be careful. But kind of careful is out the door. I can't see whether we have our flaps out or not, so we're just going to go ahead and test them. Nope, we do not have our flaps out. So we're just going to fly by compass heading, and this is a great way to practice circuits, just flying by compass heading. Another way to practice circuits is in a 172 in low clouds. That's how you know you've got it down. Okay, we're going a little fast. We're going to put out the speed brake. The speed brake makes the go nose up in the plane. It's kind of weird. So there's the airport over there. Now what you can't see is you can't see the city lights over the farmland as well as the city lights over the river because there are none. So we're at 4,000 feet. We've got plenty of altitude. Back there in the distance, you can see Lambert International Airport just behind it. So we're going to give ourselves a little bit of distance. We're just going to go kind of by guesstimate. Now we are at 306 knots and we're at 4,600 feet, so we're way fast and way high. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the plane in proper configuration for landing. So we're going to put the speed brake out, which causes the Colimata to put nose up. So you kind of have to give it a lot of nose down to keep it in. I don't know if you guys have flown this plane before or flown a fighter jet before, but when that circle falls, the circle is actually on the HUD. The circle that just fell is where the body of the plane is going physically, and so the plane is actually dropping in altitude. You can see our altitude dropping now. That's very effective for carrier landings, and you can also point that about a third to two-thirds down the runway for good landings. So we've got our speed brake out. We're going to pull our speed brake back in. I think it's dark, you can't see it. Our speed's going back up, so that's cool. We're going to put a flap down. We're going to go ahead and be cautious and put a landing gear down. So we've been following the same heading, about 150, 140. If we look back over our left shoulder, we should see an airport back there. There it is. It's pretty far back. So we're going to go ahead and try to maintain this altitude and not drop down very much. There's an F-16C that remarkably I like better just because you can see the vertical speed better. And by the way, if any Colimata designers are listening in, the GPS points on the MFD on the right, they're almost impossible to read. So it'd be nice if those were a little bit larger. Like for instance, as we're coming onto a landing, which is fairly dangerous, especially at a small airport like Crèvecoeur, if you come over here, it's very difficult to read those while you're flying. I understand you can put a lot of them in at one point, but it gets to be dangerous. So right now we're way high and we don't know how far we are out, so we're going to drop some altitude. All we really have to do is kind of let the plane fall on its own. Not too fast though. This is just kind of by feel, and the best way to kind of get a feel sometimes of an airplane is to fly it at night. We're going to put another flap out. So we've got 2 flap settings on the plane. We've got it both out right now. I believe we're a little on the high side, but really not that much. So the plane is incredibly fast. I believe it maxes out at about 1200 knots, or almost Mach 2. It blows through a lot of fuel at Mach 2. We are getting really low. Oh, I'm sorry. No, we're not getting really low. We're just behind the HUD. So we need to drop some altitude. So we're just going to put the nose down, but the plane's falling anyway. The bar that's above everything, this bar right here is the level flight bar. So right now we're minus about 8 degrees, so we're falling. And we've got 2 flap out, which means we're basically a helicopter at this point. So we're just kind of hovering in. Now I'm just lightly giving it control, and if I take my hands off the control, it almost flies itself. If you're doing carrier landings, you throttle up to bring the nose up, and you throttle back to bring the nose back. So right now we're just going to put this bead right towards the end of the runway, or about a third the way down the runway. And again, you can see a little bit of the green around us, so we are getting pretty low. Probably should have been coming in a little bit higher. You can see the road underneath us. We're going to hop over the road, hop over the fence. Put one flap in, throttle up. Why not? Take both flaps in, throttle back up. 140 knots. We're up off the ground. Our altitude's increasing. So we're going to go over to an approach at Lambert real quick. Actually, wait a second. Should do an approach at Lambert or do a full stop? Let's go ahead and try a full stop. Actually, we're going to bring her the other way. 6,600 feet. We're fine. We've got plenty of altitude. That's Crèvecoeur. Again, we're not on VATSIM, so we don't have to be as careful. If you were at the airport, you'd be going pretty fast right now. I believe we're plus Mach 1. And the way you can tell is okay, we're a little high right now. 4,600 feet. We're going to pull the throttle back, put the brake out, do a series of high-speed turns. Now, we have no idea where the airport is. We can look at the map for visual reference, or we can look down at the highways. That, I believe, there's an airport to the south. So we should be almost over it now. Yeah, I can't see it. So we're still at 7,300 feet, so we're just going to orbit and see if we can find it. Wow. I guess we're going to have to check the map. That is not it. We are heading west, though. So we'll just do a turn and turn around and go back and find it again. Oh, that's familiar, doesn't it? So we're going to overflight again. We're just going to run a quick pattern. This time we're going to be a little more not cautious when flying past it, but we're going to be a little quieter. We're in the same pattern we did before. So really it's all about instruments right now. So we're at 216 knots at 1,500 feet, and keep in mind that ground right now is about 600 feet. So we don't really have a lot of room right now. Yeah, we should probably get some altitude. You can see outlines of trees. So we're going to overfly to the end of the runway. Did mess up there. We're going to pull back to heading 50 or 15. Don't crash first. No, that is it. Alright, so we crashed the last time, so we're going to have to try this again. This time we'll take it easy. So 140 wings up. That's not good. So sort of a nice gentle turn to the left. Now we're upwards of 300 knots, so we're going to hit the speed brake and slow us down. Can't forget about our runway at 160. So we're going to look for that compass heading and then turn back. So our runway should be over on our left wing. There it is. And we're doing a visual approach. There's no ILS here. So we're going to slow the plane down and configure it for landing. Speed brake. I'm going to go ahead and put flaps down, put landing gear down. This plane tends to bounce up like that. Put the speed brake out. I forgot if the speed brake's still out. I have it in. Speed brake's back in now. Whoa, 130 knots, too slow. So you can see the circle pop up again. That's the direction. That's where the physical body of the aircraft is pointing. So again, we're going to look over our left wing, our left shoulder, and see the airport. I'm going to get a little more distance before we come in, but this plane is remarkably agile. Like right now, I have my hand off the stick, which is really quite phenomenal for a plane that'll do Mach 2. So we're going to go ahead and put out the second speed brake. Plane's already settled. So 4,000 feet, 140 knots and change. Both flaps out, landing gears down, and we're ready to land. We're going to come in on a fairly tight approach here, so we're going to throttle up for the turn. And we're still at 4,000 feet, so we're going to pull the power back a little bit, let the speed bleed off, and let the nose drop a little bit, but we don't want to drop it too much because we're already kind of pushing stall speed. Stall speed is around 140 knots. So we brought that around a little too soon. We're going to go ahead and just physically drop the nose, drop some at altitude. Keep in mind the airport runway is about 600 feet and change above sea level. We're still way high. We're going to drop the speed brake just for a second. Put it back in. See the road underneath us. It's dark, but you can just see it by the landing lights. Look at that. 3 red, 1 white. Not too bad. We want to be a little bit higher, but then again, we're landing a fighter at a municipal airport. Not even a municipal airport, kind of like a neighborhood airport. So we're going to flare. And then we're going to hit our brake. Our speed brake out just for good measure. There you go.